What's up, everybody? Lake Station Community Advocate back again. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Are you ready for some Bill of Rights? Maybe the First Amendment? We're going to learn how to manipulate the community. And we're going to tell you what's acceptable and what isn't. But for now, I tried shutting up once. Didn't really care for it. Sure don't. Because my First Amendment right, freedom of speech, it's mine and everybody else's. And it's okay if you don't agree. You don't have to agree. But you have that right to voice your opinion and give your ideas. But if somebody's controlling you and telling you what is acceptable and what isn't, I would be questioning who they are and what their motives are. Alright, let me get rolling here. Anybody who wants to hush up or manipulate media, social media, and things like that, in a country where you have the freedom of speech and you have the freedom to do these things, I would be questioning, because chances are the world around them is probably burning down and they think everything's just fine. And they want you to think everything is just fine. Stay behind me and underneath my wing, little sheep. Everything's going just fine. Even though we can financially see things are wrong. Sometimes our mayor's disappeared and we don't know where he's at, but I found him. Or our roadways are being neglected. Our schools in financial troubles. People are mismanaging, misappropriating things. And yeah, things can be a whole lot better, but a little transparency and accountability and integrity can go a whole lot further if they did their job. But they don't want to, because everything around them is burning down, but they don't want you knowing it's them, so they got to control the media. Same thing Hitler did, same thing Stalin did. And believe it or not, it's actually the same thing that our politicians here in America do. They love to control the media, which is why other countries, believe it or not, study American propaganda. And it's funny because that comes from countries where propaganda was really used years ago to manipulate, control, and to eliminate masses of people. And while they all thought they were getting on a train to go do something great, and while they were by the masses going into the gas chambers thinking they were getting showers, they ended up dead. And it was too late. And the same thing happens here with social media and local pages. Is sometimes the media is controlled by the people who oversee the political reins within towns and communities, which that should be a pretty big red flag all its own. And if you don't believe me, need I remind you of when the dead dogs in Lake Station came about? Who was stopping them? And the community pages that they were controlling and hushing and shutting up of people? How they say that what? They were deleting Facebook posts discussing the deaths of the dogs because to them it wasn't acceptable. Because God forbid somebody use their First Amendment right to put some questioning out there to find out what's really going on in the community and why. But if you keep reading, they deleted or hid hundreds of comments referencing the incident that was critical of everything that was going on. But they were sent a what? A cease and desist letter demanding that they stop because it's violating what? The First Amendment community members' rights and of others that were wanting to know what's going on. So if you don't believe me, let me go through this. This is a local community page that is ran by the cronies of the same people, the same groups that shut everything down, that they disapprove of, that it's not in their narrative, it's not part of their set accepted ways of things. Now, while I sound negative a lot of times, and, well, yeah, to an extent it can seem like it's very negative. But I'll tell you what's very positive is when you're driving down a road, and it's positive you hit a pothole, your tire, your rim gets bent, and you wreck off the road, or it's pretty positive knowing that you're sitting back watching the schools sink itself like the Titanic, or it's pretty positive knowing that there's something up with your administration and things need to be fixed. That's not negative. That's calling things out. No different than sitting in a game on the sidelines and telling your coach as you're observing and you're watching that, hey, coach, something needs to change. Something's bad. We're going to lose the game because of it. and only good coaches will listen. So let me go along with this. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is a local positive Lake Station page. Now, while they have 6,400 members, no big deal. But here's my problem. And this is pretty hypocritical of them, and it's very funny, but I'll get to that in a moment. Anyone can see who's in the group and what they post. Anyone but me. Because when I pop up Positive Lake Station, do you see what comes up? I only have these few pages that come up. That's kind of funny. So when I pop up Positive Lake Station on my search engine on my Facebook, I don't see Positive Lake Station. But wait a minute, they wouldn't lie to you now, would they? Because it says anyone can find the group. It's visible to anyone, and anyone can see who's in the group. And funny, how did I get this? It got sent to me from somebody else, and I won't tell their name because he, was able to send me these things. But let me touch on this. And it's funny because in order to get all those people, when Hitler went through and wanted to kill all the Jews in all those different countries, the one thing that he required, and he knew as a propagandist, is they had to have everyone's mutual trust. Don't believe me? Go research it on the American Holocaust Museum Society page. Go look. You'll see how they did it. You have to have somebody's trust. And while everything's burning down around you in the community, they're going to act like everything's fine. And anybody who speaks up against the truth, well, you got to stay positive, and you can't make mention of certain things like it requires your mutual trust, but authentic, expressive discussions make groups great, but may also be sensitive and private. What's shared in the group should stay in the group. So that being said, it could be sensitive and private. First off, if it was sensitive and private, it wouldn't be on social media. We all know that. But they're trying to restrain and trying to control the amount of information that gets out to me specifically. And I know this because it's been mentioned numerous times, and they have me blocked from those so-called positive pages where everyone can see. But it's really funny. What's shared in the group should stay in the group. Otherwise, we delete you and block you. Because that's what they've done. And that's what they do. This is called what, kids? It's called propaganda. And remember, they tell you who to love, who to hate, who to be afraid of, who to trust. Oh, what to think about people and other things. It's all as long as in their narrative, and what not to think. So freedom of speech and freely thinking is not okay. You have to be mentally enslaved to us. Otherwise, you're outside our circle of trust. Free your mind from this mental slavery. But I don't have much, but it says be kind, be courteous, no hate speech, no bullying, no promotions. But let me remind all of you out there in TikTok land and Facebook, in Lake Station, specifically, start freely thinking for yourself, because they are controlling, and that is a form of manipulation. And remember, people, the city's lawyer is a political lawyer. What do political lawyers do? They're great at propaganda and how to push that narrative. But you have this that protects you. You see that? The First Amendment. You have right to speak it. And if it hurts their feelings, oh well. But remember, kids, when the community's burning down, they're going to make it seem like everything's A-OK. I'm the Lake Station community advocate and educator. Go check out Lake Station Strong Towns Collective on Facebook and Lake Station Strong Local Conversations. And soon, Lake Station Strong Towns Collective website and YouTube. So I'm going to be really rattling some feelings. Have a great day.